What's going on, everybody? We are back, episode 3 here of the Nashville Stampede Out of the Park Baseball 24 series. And we're here at the end of the 2024 season. Boston just beat the Twins in the World Series. That's crazy to say. First year in the realignment, and Boston comes out on top. So, some off-season housekeeping, some new goals, pretty much the same though. Build up our farm system, reach the playoffs in a couple of years, have some money left over. Not terribly surprising. We did have a market size increase. We're now above average. We're 15th in payroll allowable, which is pretty interesting. I assume that would change over time. And then our what is this, fan interest or fan loyalty? Sorry, goes up. And we have a new budget. Our payroll allows for 130 million, which doesn't seem like it'd be 15th in the league. That's weird. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's our total budget. Okay. Anyway, we're not going to use $130 million in payroll. At least I doubt we will. So, um, we'll trade here. Yeah, no, thank you. I guess we can check in first with how our prospects are looking. So, Michael Molinax, who we took first overall last year, slots in at number 32. Had a really good year down in rookie ball. I think I mentioned that at the end of the season. So, but yeah, he slots in at number 32. Aiden Harris, who was our second round pick, he's 130 or 173. Sorry. Grant McCray 178, and then Bo Naylor 118, who's up in the major leagues. He'll come off that list probably before the season starts. David Ramirez, who was our international signing last year, didn't really play well in his first taste of pro ball, but he's outside the top 200. PJ Morlando, who was our 11th round pick, just outside, looks like the top 200. Then, a whole bunch of other guys. Ethan Murray's the guy down here that I have hope for. Give him a huge signing bonus for kind of no reason, but the fact that we had money. But yeah, that's kind of how our farm system shapes up. We're 26th. In real life expansion teams, they start drafting before they even enter the league, at least in MLB. So coming to the league and having our first draft while we're still trying to get our major league team together is yeah, it's not really how it would go in real life. So anyway, arbitration, we're non-tendering Justin Dunn, Brandon Dixon, Pavin Smith, and Mike Yastrzemski. We just don't need these guys. They're a good filler for the first year, but we're gonna try to take some steps forward this season. And we have a ton of first base, corner outfield depth, which is where all of these guys play. And then Justin Dunn is just really no good, so and he wanted over $1 million. Adrian Morejón, we're gonna give 3.2 million. I already offered him that. And Tanner Houck, 2 million. That seems like a pretty good deal for both of them. For these minor league guys, I'm bringing back Austin Hedges on a 2-year deal. Just he's a good leader and he's a good defender, and our pitching staff probably benefited from having him back there. So yeah, we're gonna go forward here with the off season, and I don't have a set plan. This is kind of my lineup as it is. We still don't have a shortstop. That hopefully will come this off season, and I guess the third base, Basabe's fine over there. I wouldn't mind rolling him out, but I wouldn't mind a guy who's a bit more of a power bat. So we don't really have a power threat in our lineup. What did we have? 117 home runs last year. So yeah, but these are the guys that are going to be with the squad next year. Tanner Houck signs. Oh, that was what I was going to shoot. I missed my opportunity. I was looking at the waiver wire because some guys wind up on there after the season. Shoot, I blew that. With the Brewers, Aaron Ashby was out there. He's on a sizable extension through his age 30 season, but I wonder where he's. Yeah, he didn't even pass through waivers, or he did pass through waivers. But I tried to trade for him, and they wanted a ton, even though they just waived him. Yeah, these are not nothing players. Which, if you're waiving someone, I don't know why you would, not just take nothing in return. But anyway, I was gonna do that. I still might. Like Will Benson's not a guy I'm locked into long term, but he's a nice placeholder corner outfielder. I like all of our relievers. I like having some, at least one strength on the team, and that's our bullpen. So, our relative strength, we're eighth in the league, but our back end's mostly good, and I think we're set for the long term. So, a couple of minor league. Yeah, we're gonna. I guess these guys will both probably become free agents. That's fine. We'll send them AAA for now. So we're gonna go through awards here. Not sure if we'll have anyone for anything. We are in the NL. I need to remember that. So yeah, nothing really surprising here. Diaz wins reliever of the year. Actually, Yunior Cano finishes third in reliever, so that's cool. I kind of forgot how good of a season he had. Ellie De La Cruz had a crazy year. His ratings have developed really well. 7.6 WAR. If the Reds get anything like this in real life, that'd be awesome. And I think he could reach that for sure. Trey Turner, Phillies wish they got that. Yeah, a lot of good performances. Byron Buxton, like to see that he stays healthy, at least so far in the save. In the NL, nothing too surprising. Michael Busch, he hit 31 home runs, which is third in the NL this season. We don't have anyone. Let's see. Gavin Cross wins Rookie of the Year. Marco Luciano. And then what's next? Manager. We got Cora for the Red Sox and Dave Roberts for the Dodgers. Brandon Woodruff wins Cy Young. Pretty awesome year from him. Rodon. I like to see how the Yankees do, of course. And Christian Javier wins in the NL. Ohtani wins MVP. I actually don't see that much in this version of the game. Maybe that's just me, but I don't think I've ever seen Ohtani win MVP. But he barely beats Ellie De La Cruz, which, maybe De La Cruz does have an argument there. Ohtani was a good pitcher, not great, like about a league average starter, and an awesome hitter. So, I mean, being a starter and a hitter, yeah, he probably deserves it, but we don't have anyone, obviously, on MVP, but Ronald Acuna wins near unanimously. Michael Harris, Will Smith, and Julio Rodriguez getting some votes as well. So, we're going to go up here, sim to free agency. Patrick Bailey, actually, I'm not opposed to this, depending on what they want. They want Jared Simpson, relief pitcher prospect, and Bo Naylor. Teams love Bo Naylor, I will tell you that. And they want Tanner Banks, never mind. Banks is probably my 3-starter this year, as things shape up right now. So, arbitration hearings, that's fine. We don't really have anything that pertains to that. And so, actually, okay, this is what I want to go over. The international, this all got pushed back after I expanded. It is now, the showcase is in November. I think before it was usually during the playoffs. I don't know if this is a new, someone patched, this is a new patch, but I don't think that's right. And then the international signings once again in February. So just something to keep in mind that we don't have to worry about that in the offseason. So let's see what we got here. We're here for agency filings. Juan Soto obviously out there. That'd be cool. I mean, he's young. He kind of fits our timeline. Tim Anderson, not a huge fan. Just got socked in the face yesterday. J. Rom putting him down. I don't really have a opinion on any of that. It's kind of cool. That's all. Cam Robinson doesn't want anything for being a top tier reliever potentially. Paul Goldschmidt, I don't think he'd come to this team. It's not very realistic. Willie Adames, actually, I got offered a trade for him at the deadline last year, and had a pretty good year. A good shortstop. Not a 7-year deal though. Absolutely not. Tyler McGill would be an interesting kind of fit our what we're kind of trying to do with our pitching right now. Frankie Montas could be an innings eater. I like Danny Jansen a lot. I don't know. I'm kind of going defensive catchers. I don't know what it was that one season in my Rocky save where we didn't have like a 70 plus defensive catcher and our pitching staff sucked. And then I brought back a good defensive catcher and our pitching staff was like best in the league. I don't know if any of it's related, but I'm all on the catcher ability freaking matters like more than offense. Miguel Rojas would be an interesting placeholder for sure. How's Bellinger been doing, huh? So our needs are basically shortstop and a ton of pitching. In the ideal world, Schulfer's not in there. It's gonna go like some like Hauk, Morejon, Banks. Banks getting a little bit more time, and then yeah, I mean ideally we get a front of the rotation guy, and then like a back end guy maybe just to fill some time before our prospects come up. And then in our lineup, like obviously any of these guys can be upgraded, but maybe McRae and Naylor are only like untouchables at the moment. Outman, I guess to some extent, but we could use any value we can get with bats. So, I mean, what does Juan Soto want? Yeah, I mean, I would normally do this, even though I'm very reluctant to sign free agents in general because typically they're horrible value. But I mean, he's only 26. Would Juan Soto realistically come to an expansion team that's clearly rebuilding? I don't know. I don't think it's actually a good use of resources. Might be better off going for Brandon Crawford. Not the best defensive shortstop anymore. I'm gonna go make some offers off camera. Come back. But this is kind of what the free agency market looks like at the moment. So we'll come back in a second and update. Alrighty, so we're back. First trade of the offseason. Free agent just filed, and we're gonna do another salary dump sort of thing. So Seiya Suzuki is a guy that the Cubs wanted to get rid of. Not really a bad player at all. Like he'll stay on my roster for sure. But he is making $18 million the next 2 seasons. So we're gonna help out the Cubs and take on most of this deal. They're gonna retain 10%, and in return we'll give them Curtis Washington, Will Benson. Curtis Washington, really a nothing player. Will Benson, who was going to be our corner outfielder, but if we have Suzuki, I'll take that trade. Cole Carrig, who's kind of one of our top prospects that we got in the trade with Boston last year for Grandal and Garcia. How do you want him doing? Oh, he's pretty good. And I kind of want to see how Grandal did. He played well with Boston, so we didn't get a ton else. Palencia is a nice player, but basically we're going to turn Carrig into Seiya Suzuki, and we're going to get 2 pitchers back as well. So Ben Leeper, potentially like middle relief stud. He is fragile, but it's a nice replacement. And Hayden Wesneski, who's kind of my favorite part of the trade. He's a pretty good starter. Like he can slide into our 4th spot right now. Maybe hold down a rotation spot in the future. He's very controllable for the next 4 seasons. And yeah, it would be a good starter for us. So, in an attempt to fill some seats in our rotation, we pick up Wesneski basically for taking on Seiya Suzuki's contract. So, let's do it. We'll swing that trade. Maybe we didn't, maybe we kind of bailed out the Cubs from that deal, but Suzuki's not a horrible player, which is the key. If it was obviously El Garcia, like he was like a guy we were instantly gonna release. Suzuki will actually slot into our lineup and be a decent player. So that's the difference between those 2 trades and why I was okay taking on less, getting less of a return. So Wesneski will slot into our rotation, probably as our 3 starter. And then, Leeper will go into middle relief somewhere, and we're looking pretty good. So that's a way to pick up another starter. I did offer a few contracts off camera. So we offered Tyler McGill a 1-year, $1.7 million deal. Aaron Savali, Potentially to be our fifth starter, or he'd probably slide in higher than five, but really cheap, $1.5 million deal. Cam Robinson, we offered 2.6 million, and Jalen Beeks, who seems to always hit free agency and want no money. So we're gonna pick him up for 1.6. Austin Gomber, we gave a little bit of a bonus if he makes the major league roster, but a good rotation depth on a minor league deal. So gonna keep offering some contracts, see if we can fill out this roster. The more I think about it, obviously Soto would be great, but I don't think it's really smart right now. But it would be fun. I don't know. I don't know. Let's take our time with this. I don't want to go rushing into anything with him. And a lot of times, like his defense will regress so much, he winds up just being a first baseman. So I'm not sure if I want to go through all that hassle and stuff. So, um, the guys that I was looking at were Miguel Rojas. I think I'm going to offer him, probably one year deal if he wants it. Yeah, perfect. So, maybe like 1 year, 5 mil. See if we can pick him up for that. Not the best bat in the world, but a good glove and can hold down shortstop for a couple seasons while we try to figure some stuff out here. I'll probably offer some other minor league deals and stuff off camera. But yeah, this is how the offseason looks so far. We'll go up to whatever the next checkpoint is. Come back. All right, so we had the draft lottery today, and unfortunately, well, I mean, I guess it's pretty good. We didn't get like a top five pick, but we got number six. We were the seventh worst team in the league, so with this lottery thing, like I didn't really care where we finished because, like as you see, Philadelphia, they're like the last team in the lottery, and they wound up getting the second pick, and the first pick got number four. So, yeah, the lottery is definitely going to throw like a wrench in our plans, but I think we'd still get a good player at number six. I haven't seen the pool, obviously. That'll be released as the season begins next year, but we did have one signing. Tyler McGill came onto our team on that 1 year, $1.7 million deal. So as of now, he'll slot in as our fourth or five starter. This isn't the worst rotation in the world. I don't know. It's okay. We have to have some offers out there at the moment. We had to up our offer to Cam Robinson. The 1 year, $3 million deal was like always kind of a long shot. So we wound up upping it. Another team matched us or something, and they gave him like a 3 year deal worth a little bit more than 5 mil. I give him 5.5 for 3 years. I think it's still a fantastic deal for him. Also had to up our offer to Jalen Beeks up to 1 year, 2 mil. And we're still waiting on these other guys, so hopefully they'll sign on in the next couple days. Winter meetings are today, so I always like to look at the trade block. It usually expands out a little bit in these discussions. So, I mean, if we were a buying team, like there's a lot of good players we can get here. We can actually trade. See, I would be interested in like eating TJ LeMahieu's contract in a salary dump or something. Cedric Mullins gonna be free agent after the year. That'll be maybe we can go after him. Who knows? Besides that, like there's not too much interest in. I guess like Tyler Anderson, we can. The Angels already eating 95% of the deal. Oof. Matt Carpenter is still hanging around. Zach Eflin, I wonder if they're interested in dumping him again. See if like we can. Obviously, we're not going to get like Hudson Leach here, but we can. I don't know. We can look around. Braden Montgomery. Blake Walter's an interesting pitcher. Pitching's like you can never trade for a pitching prospect. It's so dumb. This guy, yeah, Santiago Suarez, a little more reasonable. 3 pitch guy, not like a super prospect or anything, but only 19 and pretty well developed. Preferably want guys with some defensive versatility so that, that's why they always say draft shortstops because you can move them anywhere else in the diamond. Like, that's kind of how it is in this game with the way I build my teams. Like, I don't get guys who can't play any defensive positions because you're stuck with them at that one spot. You can't move them around or anything. Carson Williams would be awesome to pick up, but that looks like it's going to be too much. I'm not opposed to trading Sully Matthias. He's not like, this isn't like a crazy unreplaceable player or anything. A lot of teams are interested in him, so maybe it's smart to shop him around here. Yeah, we'll look for prospects first, see if there's anything out there. It might be better to put him in a package. Michael Ciani, I know, is a really good defender. Not the worst bat in the world either, but not like a super upgrade to anyone else we have. Jaden Hill, not a bad starting prospect. Jack Leiter, now with Detroit, had a little bit of success last year out of the bullpen for them. Still a good prospect. Not opposed to that at all. Joey Estes, also another good arm from their system. And Parker Meadows, a good defensive outfielder. If we want to go that route. Simeon Woods Richardson, former top prospect. Now flaming out with the Marlins, it looks like they won't even give him a shot. A couple of decent prospects from the Marlins, too. Everson Pariah, Yankees prospect. Not bad, but not great. Luke a little more of a reliever in my eyes. Cameron Leonard, if he had a little stamina, would be a nice pitcher. Yeah, we'll probably, I'm just going to look through a couple of these, and then we'll go see what's out there on the market. I definitely would like to trade Matthias if this is going to be the return. Corner outfielders, they're not, like, unreplaceable. So, yeah, I'm going to go off camera, see what kind of deals I can get for him, and we'll come back in a sec. All right, so I'm putting in that trade on the back burner for now. We're here at the Rule 5 draft a couple weeks later, and we have the 7th pick, so let's see what happens here. Pittsburgh. Oops. I have to also, I don't think we have anyone really valuable here, but just check. Yeah, no, we're good. The Rule 5. We have, like, no one in our organization who's worth taking. So, first pick. They took Austin Gomber, so whatever, that's fine. He was just a minor league guy anyway. There you go. No one's taken. Garrett Hill goes the pick before us. Nice arm, quite frankly. So, again, house rules. I don't draft anyone under 25. So, looking through, not a ton I like, really. Juan Burrito's too young, unfortunately. Ideally, we'd grab a shortstop here, a guy that we kind of plug in and hope for the best, but, yeah, nothing. Let me put a filter on here. Is greater than, is at least 25. Okay, so now we can look at the guys that we will reasonably take. So Gavin Stone, actually, not a bad arm to grab. Aaron Ashby's here. Like, why don't they want to trade him? Okay, now they're a little more interested, but I'm not going to take him in the Rule 5 draft. Cantanero is a nice pitcher. Cantorino, sorry. Yeah, there's some decent arms out here. I'd much rather go... Two Chiplet days here again, God. I'd much rather go for some kind of bat, but let's see what they have for shortstops. Nick Madrigal, not a shortstop. Guy's not a horrible glove. Yeah, slim pickings out here for infielders. Jose Barrero, if I want a guy who just can't hit at all. I mean, it's always useful in your organization to have a bunch of those guys. Ezekiel Duran's here. You see, he fell out of favor. Yeah, not quite the player that he is in real life for them. Who is this? Nick Gonzalez, 25. Is he a top? Yeah, he was top pick back in 2020. Yeah, they gave on him pretty quick. That's crazy. Not actually a guy I'm opposed to. I like taking these guys with top prospect or top pick pedigree. Good leader. Can play all over the field. Not great anywhere, but can do a fine job. And we don't really have a utility guy at the moment. Let's check out. Yeah, we don't. I mean, Ivan Castillo's actually a fine utility guy, but yeah, I kind of like taking Nick Gonzalez there. Maybe give him a little redemption arc here, if nothing else for an intriguing storyline. So swing over to shortstops. Nick Gonzalez. Let's see if he can do anything. Worst case, we just release him. We'll swing to the second round here. And let's see what happened here. So, no one else actually took anyone. Gavin Stone's still a guy I like, and he fits my criteria. So I'm going to grab Gavin Stone here. For some reason, the Dodgers let him go. Luis Devers, too young for me. Yeah, maybe we'll call it here. I mean, we already have a ton of guys on the roster, and I don't even know if we have a ton of room on the 40. Yeah, we only have one more spot, so we got to save those. So yeah, we'll end it here. Complete the draft. And there you go. Looks like us and the Oaks both took two guys. Carlos De La Cruz, good pick. Who else did they wind up snagging just out of curiosity? Nice player. Not the worst. How'd the Oaks do? They finished 75 and 87. So a little bit better than us, but not too crazy. It's crazy that like an expansion team can do better than the freaking Royals and Marlins. Like, get your shit together. Anyway, we'll sit ahead. It's like Aaron Savali signed. That's cool. And then Miguel Rojas. So we do have a 40-man decision here. So let's see. How do we look here? Make sure everyone's promoted so I kind of have a good idea of how many guys we got at. Oh, god damn it. Did not mean to do that. Promote to Nashville. Okay. So we have 23 pitchers, 17 hitters. So we got to get rid of a pitcher here. Darius Vines. I don't even remember. I don't know how the heck he wound up on my 40-man roster. But anyway, yeah, we'll waive and DFA him. Did not realize I even had him. I usually go through and clean out my roster, but he must have just slipped through the cracks. Okay. Anyway, Miguel Rojas will slot in at shortstop. Again, we just have like minimal hitting like for power here in the lineup, which is a concern, but we'll make it work, I think. So, yeah, it's probably what the lineup looks like. We'll have Ivan Castillo as our utility guy in the infield. We'll have Pache in the outfield. Spencer Jones still down in AAA. We'll see if he can ever make an impact. And then Nick Gonzalez is here, competing for a roster spot. Probably get a little bit of time at first base, some infield, some corner outfield. See what he can do in spring, and we'll see what happens. I don't know. Then Savali will probably slot in. Probably toward the top of our rotation, I'd imagine. Maybe as our 2 for now. I'll be an innings eater. Wisniewski will probably be like this 90-pitch guy. Tanner Banks as well. I would guess it'd be Banks and McGill fighting for that rotation spot. Gavin Stone could also get in the mix as well as our Rule 5 guy. I'm not going to count out Brendan Brown yet, but he had a rough year last year. And yeah, not going to bank on anything happening there. So we'll sim ahead. December 23rd. I mean, maybe some of these relievers sign in the next couple of days. Something just happened with the screen. I don't even know what it was. Yeah, I'll jump off camera here and because there's going to be a big loading screen around January 1st, so we'll be back in a second. Okay, so I've run into a couple issues here with this save and what's going on. So I don't know if previously I mentioned that the international signing was on the 27th of February. Well, randomly, it just like jumped up 3 weeks. So I ran through this once and it saved at the beginning of the year, as it always does. And I ran through this and I go on to February 27th and everyone was gone. And I was like, what the hell just happened? So I force quit the game, went back to my last save, and now I'm here February 7th, and I can sign these guys. So it's just like, I'm not sure what happened there. I guess I could go into, see, rules, probably. All right, I'll just do this off camera. That might be a little more reasonable, because I don't actually know where this stuff's located. It's probably in players. Yeah, see, it says February 27th, and then it just is not February 27th. So, and I think I did that last year, too. I just happened to catch it before everyone was completely gone. So, maybe I'll force this to, like, February 1st, and then, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But, yeah, just very weird glitch. Probably when I expanded, something happened and messed up. So, a couple more updates. Cody Bellinger, we wound up signing him just to bring in some kind of like power, like versatile guy. Can play some first base, good outfielder. As of now, he's my starting first baseman, and I'm sliding Bo Naylor over to third. That could change. I don't know. Matthias, I want to get him in the lineup, so he'll be my DH, or actually he'll be my right fielder. Suzuki will DH. Come to find out, Seiya Suzuki can kind of play some third base, so could be an option down the line. If I want to get Bellinger back to the outfield, put Suzuki at third, Naylor back at first. But as of now, we're going to roll with this. This is kind of the tentative lineup as of now. Amaya, Naylor, Suzuki, Outman, Matthias, Bellinger, Rojas, McRae, Hedges, good righty-lefty mix. So I'm cool with that. I wound up doing I went through and did some signings. I got them all back. Jalen Beeks we got. Cam Robinson wound up picking up. So, just a small little glitch there. But we are going to go to international free agent signings. And there was one guy I was targeting this offseason, which was the guy I kind of peeked at earlier, Juan Cisneros. And we have 5.23 million. I think it's smart to just dump it all on him, but also he doesn't want a ton, so maybe we can get away with giving him like 3.5. We have 1.7 left, and there were some other guys that I liked as well. This guy was one of them. He's a little more expensive, so I might go with like Jesus Ayala. This pitcher was also a pretty nice player. This guy was really cheap, so let's go after him. Maybe we can get it for like 200,000. Actually, maybe that's not smart. Yeah, okay. I'm actually going to retract that offer because I don't want to not have enough money to sign Sinceros if we need a little bit more. So we'll see if he signs. And he did. Oh, no, never mind. That was someone else. That was Ali Sanchez. A little less exciting. Cody Clemens, we had to DFA. Let's see what our status is here with this. Still pending. And Logan Allen, God, this is offering these minor league free agent deals is so obnoxious. Yeah, so Sinceros wants more. Not surprising. Let's go up to 4.5. See if we can swing that. Leave a little bit left over. I don't want to drop every last bit into this guy, but it's like we're gonna have to if we can even afford him. What are we, 5.230? I think that's the max amount. Okay, we're just gonna give him the max. It's just ridiculous. I thought like the first patch of this game where like these guys weren't going up to the max, awesome, because you can grab a couple of these guys, and now I don't know, something must have happened in the last patch where this was fixed, and now it feels like I'm always bidding up and only getting one guy in this. So I guess it's realistic, you go quality over quantity, and it probably stops you from cheesing the system. Not like I really ever did that, but with the cap, it's tough to do. So I don't think he's quite ready for pro ball yet, so we'll keep him in the complex for now. And yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to go through here before spring training. So we'll swim up to that. Probably the opening day. Check in at that point. All right, so we're here at opening day. A bit of a roster crunch that we got hit with, especially in the bullpen. So looking at this, these are kind of all the guys that I want here. We have 15. We got to cut it down by two more guys. Could send down Ben Leeper, but I'm going to capitalize on a guy with a good amount of value, and a lot of teams wanted in the offseason. Daniel Nunez, who had an awesome season last year for us. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be tough to lose him, but we have some guys that I think can replace him, and he had a good amount of value. So we'll also throw in Ben Abram, who's just a throw in. And in return, we're going to get Jack Hurley, who I like quite a bit as a player. He could play a good corner and is, at worst, a good fourth outfielder. So, and was hit well last year in High A. 2023 draft pick, so he actually doesn't have to be added to the 40 man for a couple of years. So I think this is smart. Expand our prospect pool for some spare parts, and that makes this a bit easier. I could have gone with Arias to deal, but I like his four pitches a little bit more, I guess. Tanner Banks didn't quite pitch well enough to get into the rotation, so I'm going to start him in the pen. Gavin Stone's a Rule 5 guy. I don't know. I might just release him because I don't know if he's going to stick with the team the full year. I could probably swing it, but I'd rather have the roster flexibility with keeping a guy like Leeper up here who can be sent down. So, I also say Cam Robinson is my closer. So I think I'm going to go with Stone. I'm going to return him to the Dodgers. And we'll keep Banks on the squad. A ton of bullpen flexibility here with guys with options. This will be our, I guess, hitters, our list of hitters. 13 guys here. Hedges and Sanchez are going to combine to be like the worst offensive catching duo. Sanchez is not added to the 40, but I'll add him now. Minor league free agent invite. We had a bunch of guys competing, but Sanchez was the guy I kind of went with, even though he was horrible in spring. We're going to Bo Naylor at third. I could change his position, but I kind of like him. He looks better as a first baseman rather than third baseman, and he's probably not long for third base. He just, kind of how things stacked out. Rojas will be at short, Amaya at second. That's not really surprising. We'll have Basabe and Dubon, who's a non-roster invite as well. I'll have to add him to the 40. But he'll make the team. Had a good spring. James Outman, Corey Bellinger, and Grant McRae, Matthias, and Suzuki. So we're carrying a bunch of pure outfielders, but Bellinger will be at first, Suzuki DHing, and Pache will be my backup outfielder for now. If he puts up a 49 WRC plus again, like that's tough to keep on the team, but I like his defense, and yeah, this is what we're going to roll with. I think we're good to go. So opening day, it'll be Tanner Houck on the mound. Didn't have the best of springs, but it was really just this one game that was, kind of tanked his ERA. So let's go through really quick before we get the season started. Since Cisneros will slot in at number 19 overall prospect, Cam Robinson was a prospect for Philly. He becomes the 33rd overall prospect in baseball, probably because I think he's supposed to be a starter. I don't see him as one unless his stamina went up to like a 40. Orlando makes his way into the top 200. David Ramirez still sits outside the top 200. Then we have some pitchers down here that I like quite a bit. In the lower parts of our minor league system, Ethan Murray still down here. And I wonder. I guess the guy I just got, Jack Hurley, does not slot in anywhere, but. Yeah, I'm going to set my minor league system after this opening series, and then we'll wrap up the episode and get out of here. I also should mention Ben Brown had a big development increase the last scouting report, so all of his pitches kind of went up a little bit. Check out his overall ratings. Just a small increase, not too much, but it was enough to kind of put him back on my radar for a long-term piece. But let's do opening day here. Tanner Houck on the mound in Kansas City, and we lose 4-3. Bellinger 3 hits in his debut with the team. Hedges drives in our only, we had 3 runs. Matthias and Outman drove in the other 2. And Houck was fine, and then Arias does well in relief, but the offense doesn't get much going. But we flip the script, win 4-2 on, or 4-3 on the second game of the season. Alex Sanchez 4 hits in his debut with the squad. Pretty good day for the offense. Had a lot of hits. Savali pitched well, and Cano and Robinson closed it out. So Morejón will look to give us our first series win of the season against division rival Kansas City. And we're not able to. Offense goes quiet, although it looks like we had 7 hits, no runs off of those. Morejón was not horrible. Banks good in relief, and Leaper made his debut, but not much going. So that'll wrap up this episode. And next time we'll be back with the first-year player draft, trade deadline, and all that good stuff. So, yeah, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.